Hello everyone. Welcome to our strategic planning session for tonight. Now I'm giving everyone a chance to log in and get inside of the group. We have a few people that's going to be with us. So many people are SVP, so I want everyone to get an opportunity to log in. If you're here already, you can get in the comments and say hi. I can see some of your comments. So if you can just say hello and say your name, what you do, or just friendly, in a friendly way, introduce yourself while we're waiting on everyone to log in. And I just want to welcome you all. We're going to start in the next minute or two. Hi, hello. I am getting inside of the group now on my phone so I can see your beautiful faces as well. It's our strategic planning night, and I'm happy to have you all with us. I'm also going to be teaching out of the Pioneering Guide, the book. And so if you don't have that, I put it on sale as an ebook so you can instantly get a copy right now. And as we're doing a strategic planning session, you'll be able to write out some things, especially see physically what I'm speaking of in reference to strategic planning and what I'm talking about. So if you look in the captions, you'll be able to click the link right now and get your guide that'll kind of help you through this portion of the strategic planning. Right there inside of your this screen, you can just click the links. I ask that you all would definitely get the guide. Also, just so you can be able to follow along. So I'm Sheikah Pettaway. I'm the CEO of Elite Educational Enterprises and Elite 2.0 Training Company. And so Elite 2.0 is basically leadership training. Anyone that's ready to level up, if you are looking to learn new concepts, within your career, within your business, whatever you're doing, I try to teach techniques that will help you get there. And so that's what we pride. With that in mind, I just want to make sure that everyone is ready to start. Like I said, I can see your comments. So definitely, I want you all to follow along. Ask questions, as many questions as you like in the chat. So we're going to get started. Make sure that if you are with us tonight, have your ebook or your hard copy. So many. I want to first say thank you to everyone that purchased the book and have a copy of it. I really want this strategic planning session to be as detailed as possible. But like I say, you can definitely order it and start right now. It's an ebook. Now, just kind of want to get into the heart of everything and really start and talking about strategic planning. So let's get started. We'll just let everyone as they come in definitely just get in and get in with us. But I do want to just kind of start. We are in chapter 2 of the book. So if you have the book, go to chapter 2. You're going to be on page 13. And that's where we're going to begin. So strategic planning. I love this quote, which is why I opened the chapter 2 up with this quote. Strategic planning is worthless unless there is a strategic vision. Wow. It's worthless unless there is a strategic vision. How many times we want to plan something out, but we really haven't thought through the actual vision. And so I found that quote to be so powerful in this process, because without vision, there's nothing to plan. And so I just kind of love that. And I wanted to open up chapter 2 with that. So let's kind of get in the heart of what we're going to discuss tonight and work through the plan. And so we're going to do a lot of practicums. If you're here, I ask that you might want to get a notepad and pen along with your book, so you can highlight and be able to not only just highlight, but write some things down. Because after this, I'm telling you, you're going to want to kind of work through your thought process. You're going to want to kind of work through the plan. And so that's what this is all about. This is a hands-on experience. That's why it's inside of the private group. So what is strategic planning? Strategic planning, it's a vital part of the navigation process of the overall plan. And so I always want to teach that, because strategic planning is not the plan. It's the navigation. It's the process. It's the way we're going to get to where we're going. And it starts with intentional thought and proper preparation. And always remember that. So first, you have to start with the actual thought, with the actual idea, with the actual plan. You have to know exactly what you are strategically planning. The plan is the foundation and the root of the strategic planning. And it says on the screen, it's intentional thought. Intentionality is very important in this process, and proper preparation. So I'm for everyone that's just logging in and tuning in, I am on page 13 of the book, and we're talking about strategic planning. And we're right in the beginning. So the navigation process, that's what strategic planning is. It's the navigation process. And sometimes we'll have a plan, but we really don't know how to navigate this plan. And sometimes it's overwhelming. When it's overwhelming, we push it to the side, we ignore it, we quit, we never get back to it. And so what strategic planning do is it chops it down and make it easier to digest. It makes it easier to definitely start and finish, and it makes it easier basically to get things done and intact. So that's what strategic planning is, and that's the process of it. Now, let's kind of deal with, in the book, I want to talk about, and I want you to ask yourself some questions. So you're going to ask yourself 3 profound questions when it comes to strategic planning. I want you to ask yourself, how does this plan fit into my overall vision? So if you're writing right now, I want you to write this question down. If you have the book, I'm on page 13, and I want you to just highlight that. So later on today or tonight, or whenever you get a chance to really strategically plan your idea, I want you to ask yourself, how does this plan fit into my overall vision? So if it's to, maybe I'm just going to make it simple. If you're buying a car, ask yourself, how does this plan fit into my overall vision? This specific car that I want. Or if you're fixing your credit, maybe it's to buy a house. So you're starting with step number 1. Always ask yourself, how does this plan fit into my overall vision? And I want you all to know the comments is open. And so feel free to ask questions. Feel free to dialogue as well. The next question. When is the best time to start this plan? Just because you have a plan doesn't mean it's time to start. So I want you to think about timing. When you think it's the best time to start. Think about the seasons you're in. If you're trying to expand your business, or you're trying to do something very unique and different. Timing is everything. Next question. What resources will I need for this plan? What resources will I need for this plan? Ask yourself. I'm going to recap a little bit. 3 thought-provoking questions I want you to ask yourself. Question number 1, how does this plan fit into my overall vision? When is the best time to start this plan? What resources will I need for this plan? What resources? What resources will I definitely need to start this plan? A lot to think about. And so think about strategic planning as long-term planning with short-term objectives. And I actually say that in the book. I actually talk about how strategic planning can come into place when you take this long-term goal and this long-term strategy, you're strategically chopping it into pieces. So as you are doing things daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, you're progressing to your plan, through your plan, and to your destination. So for those of you who are with us, we are doing strategic planning. We're working through the pioneering guide, and we're on page number 14 now. So the next thing I want you to do, if you have your idea, you have your actual plan, because remember, strategic planning is just the navigation that's going to help us through our plan. So 3 keys that's essential before you start any task. So we talked about the questions to ask yourself. Now, there are 3 essential things you need to do before you start any plan, any task. 3 things. So here's the 3 things. I want you to identify and understand the idea. Identify and understand the idea. You have to be able to understand exactly what that actual plan, that's the idea. What exactly are you doing and why? Think about what you're trying to accomplish. And I strategically put the word think about because sometimes we'll make a plan and we never really sat down and envisioned this plan and really just thought about it. And when I'm talking about thinking about it, I'm talking about imagining yourself successfully doing it. Imagine what it's going to take to do it, how many people you're going to need, whatever it is, but actually seeing yourself doing and working the plan. Also considering the time frame. So that's 3 key essentials that we're gonna you definitely need for strategic planning. Okay, I'm looking at the comments. Any questions so far? Anything I need to recap on? I'm here. I want to know what you all think about that. I want to be able to really help with these 3 elements, these 3 key essentials that you're going to need before starting any task. Before starting any task, I'm going to recap just for a second. Identify and understand the idea. So the plan, identify, okay, a lot of plans start with a problem. That's very popular. Maybe you're having a problem with something. That's where the plan starts. So identify the problem and understand, what is it that you need. Sometimes our thoughts could be going so fast. We don't really take time. We may have the money, so it pressures us to just go for it, or whatever the case may be. But identifying. Think about what you're trying to accomplish. Stop and envision it. Think it through. How many times have you started something and say, oh my goodness, I did not think this went through. I did not think about it. So think about what you're trying to accomplish and consider the plan's time frame. consider the time frame. Earlier, I said a thought-provoking question was the best time to start. This right here is the time frame, how long it's going to take. Because this could be a two-phase process. This could be 2 years. This could be 1 year. This could be 6 months. This could be 3 months. All of these things should be considered. It should definitely be considered, especially if you're trying to fulfill the plan and you want to be successful at what you're doing. So many times we rush. Oh my goodness, I can tell you a million times I've rushed through different things. But now, as I'm getting older, I'm beginning to just take my time and work mentally through some plans and work mentally through my thoughts. And so some things just really do not make sense. It was just an idea, and it may need to be developed. It may need time. And I never want to just continue to step out and do something that's not thought through. So that's kind of the first phase. Now for this exercise. In the book, I go into detail about strategic planning on pages 13 and 14. Then on page 15, there's an exercise. And I say, for instance, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and envision your path. This is a practice I do. I've been doing business for 11 years for myself. And sometimes, not sometimes, every day, there's tasks waiting on me. Major decisions of all sorts. So when I'm trying to push out something new, when I'm trying to do something in my personal life, it can be something personal, something in my business life. Personally, I wanted a certain credit score. So I really sat down and did this exercise, just envisioned the path. Like, it was going to take much sacrifice. It was going to take a lot of discipline. Me waiting on certain things. So strategic planning is forecasting. So, sometimes you have to sit and just write out your thoughts about your idea. In business, there's times when I wanted to expand certain parameters of things that I was doing. Well, I didn't just jump up one day and expand. I stopped and I forecast. I say, okay, I'm going to do this in 3 phases. These 3 phases is going to take me 2 years. The first 6 months, I'm going to do this. The second, so 6 months, I'm going to do A, B, and C. And so you see how I'm step by step, I'm moving toward my goals. Here is a quote from my book. How many of us set out to conquer everything in one day? Make what I can guarantee you, in 5 day, a 5-week work week, 5-day work week, Monday through Friday, I put at least 6 things down to do. 6 times 5, 30. I've accomplished 30 things in 1 week. And I can begin to increase. But here's the thing. We start and just do all kind of things. We get overwhelmed. We don't stick to it. When you're strategically planning, your planning takes thought, because some task is going to take more emotional stress off for you to do, mental. I did a proposal, and that's all I put on my plate for 1 entire week, because it's a lot of typing, it's a lot of mental thought, and I just kind of needed to focus and not jump from task to task. So strategic planning takes you being smart and wise enough to know my capacity is this. mentally. I cannot just sit at a computer for 12 hours for 5 days. Knowing yourself, all that encompasses strategic planning. So let's kind of get into strategic planning. Now, if you have your book, I'm on page 16. I'm on page 16. With that in mind, I'm going to pull up for everyone that is watching. I'm going to pull up page 16 so you can see. we were meant to achieve, because we are now afraid and perplexed, when sometimes we just need to write it out, see it on paper, try it. And there are going to be some things you just need to take the risk for, period. You and that's what separates good and great. That risk taking. That risk taking. And sometimes it may work out. But strategically planning, it brings security. See, even if it doesn't work out, I want you to know this. When you strategically plan something and it maybe something happened, look at the wins. Think about, I just put a plan in place. I'm outside of my comfort zone. I'm getting more and more disciplined and putting myself first in my goals, my dreams, my aspirations. There are so many wins into planning something. Sometimes we are afraid and have commitment issues. And a commitment issue can show not just in a relationship, but it can show with money handling. You're just not committed to saving because you're not committed to anything. And so that's things that can hinder our plan. So let's talk about, that was short term. Now long term, these are ways you sustain your success. And so that's something that needs to be thought through. That's what that's what makes it your plan stay in place longer. I give you some experience from mine. Like I said earlier, I've been in business for 11 years. I've worked for myself, meaning I made enough money where I didn't have to work another job by myself 11 years. Well, with that, it took some long-term planning. But sometimes it took long-term planning, not but. With my long-term planning, I have to sit down and ask myself, how will I sustain for the next 2 years? How will I sustain for the next 10 years? I have to forecast. I have to pre-plan. I have to strategically plan. What type of savings I'm going to need. What type of, all of this is a major part of strategic planning, especially when you want to be debt-free, financially independent, achieve personal goals, achieve business goals, no matter what area of your life. If it's parenting, I've done strategic plan for my children and with my children. I'm actually putting one together for the summer because both of my children are now going through preteen stages. So just what I want from them, what's some different things, whatever the case may be, it all will work out under your overall vision, but you have to strategically sit down, quiet yourself, and think about what is it that you're trying to accomplish. So, action-driven solutions. Action-driven solutions. Action-driven. So many times we have a lot of plans. Some of us are good at the part that I just taught about. Thinking it through, putting it on paper. I've met people that can type up big manuals. And then it's time to put it into action. They, number one, probably don't get along with the team. They don't have, the discipline to just stick to it. So after you have this plan, there's another thing you need to have, because you can't just have a plan. And you can't have the mindset, because remember, we talked about the navigation, and that strategic planning is a navigation, is how we navigate through the process. We also talked about mindset and how we need to think things through. So we can be good at both of those. And here, as a coach, as a mentor, as a consultant, this is where a lot of people have the most issues with strategic planning. It's the action-driven solution. Putting it into practice. Actually walking through it, doing it, showing the action, taking the steps. So that action, it is the step by step. This is what my number one thing I love to teach, and I practice. I don't teach anything I don't practice. Is step by step goals. That's what helps you with the action. Step by step goals. Do something every day, every week, whatever the case may be, toward your goal. Write it down. Commit to it. So, say for example, I'm going to use something on my desk. Say for example, I make hand sanitizer. Okay? And that's my business. Well, or maybe I desire to do this. And in 1 year, I want to achieve making my own hand sanitizer, just for example. What am I going to do to stay on track? It's 1 year. The first month, I'm going to put together my strategic plan. My strategic plan is going to consist of a 12-month plan to help me get to my goal. Research. I have to research what I'm doing. I have to research how much it's going to cost. What is it going to require of me? How much time I need to invest in this? Do I need help? Am I going to be making it? I'm going to pay someone else to make it. All these questions need to be answered in that research in the beginning phases. Now, watch this. You have 1 year to complete this goal, 365 days. If you did one thing a day, that's 365 things toward your goal. That's not that overwhelming if you say, I'm going to commit one thing. Because guess what? Without committing to that one thing a day, days start passing by so fast. Think about what I'm about to say. 5 years ago, you could have told yourself, I want to do something. I want to do this. And you've never done it. It's been 5 years and you're like, whoa, I always wanted to do that. How many times you've met someone and said that? But if you don't start today, if you don't put any action into it now, do something. Take a step and commit to your steps. Say tomorrow. So it could be something simple like, I'm going to send an email. I'm going to read a book regarding this topic. Day one, I have journals where I would write down, okay, I have in the next 7 days, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to research this topic. I'm going to go get this book. This book may take me 3 weeks to read, but I'm going to get it tomorrow. I'm going to download it tomorrow. And so that's what strategic planning is. And let me tell you, about time you get halfway, you may get weary. I'm just telling you from experience. But here's the good part that I always remind, especially the people that I mentor and coach. You're halfway there. If you quit and go back, it's going to take the same amount of energy to go back than to just keep going forward. Halfway. You have to start somewhere and press toward that goal and do something every day toward what you're trying to achieve. So, step by step. It takes not only focus, but also knowing your capacity. And I'm on page 19 in the book. Stay on track strategically, because we can have a plan and then we don't stay on track with our plan. And so we have to know our capacity. In the book, I define capacity as the actual or potential ability to perform, yield, or withstand. Know your capacity. Know what you're capable of. And then guess what? You don't have to just yield to that. You can expand your capacity. The way you expand your capacity is I've been on a workout journey and I really don't feel like it. But the way I can expand my capacity is I have to get up and I have to go do it. I have to do something. And so I keep building my capacity by stretching myself. So when my body tell me, my mind, my spirit, everything about me is telling me you don't feel like working out. The way I expand my capacity is by doing the opposite of what I really want to do. That's how you get stronger. So think about that in terms of your personal journey, your personal goals, your business journey, your business goals. Think about that, how powerful that process is in those terms. How powerful that process is. So that's expanding your capacity. So capacity, focus. Focus is a very, very important emotion, important everything. I can say mentally, physically. Focus, you have to focus. And it uses all of you. So whatever it is you're trying to do, you have to begin to focus. And it's easy to get distracted, right? It's easy for us to just get distracted on this, get distracted on that, start doing this because this person or social media, it can really be a distraction. We can just start strolling and 1 hour go by, and that could have been 30 minutes of strolling and 30 minutes of research. So focus, focus, focus. And one thing I want to add is capacity, focus, and also make sure whatever you're doing, the reason why I always teach write it down is because it makes it more measurable. You can go back. If you're putting this all in your mind, it's so easy to forget. I talk to people all the time. Oh, I put it in my mind. I'm going to remember. The way you measure a thing, you go back to it. I did all of this. It begins to motivate you, center you. It do so many powerful things. So make sure whatever you do is measurable. Now, SMART goals. as I'm wrapping up, so we talked about strategic planning. I just want to encourage you to, make your goals a priority. No matter what they are, if it's important to you, put them first. Make them a priority and really work toward them and strategically plan. I hope you all enjoyed this broadcast. Um, if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. I can see, and I will be honored to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining the strategic planning session. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.